In this video, I'm going to describe an interesting person from another country. And in my answer, I need to include who this person is, how I got to know this person, what kind of person he or she is, and explain why I think he or she is interesting. I'm going to talk about my friend Yuki. I can't remember rightly when we first met. I'm guessing it was roughly 5 years ago. She comes from Japan, but I'm not entirely sure where she comes from exactly. She will have told me, but it slipped my mind. Despite the fact that she's a different nationality, we hit it off straight away because she has a wicked sense of humour. I used to work with her friend, and we were both invited to a party and met there. Then we bumped into each other on a few other occasions and started messaging each other. It's hard to say when we actually became friends. It just sort of evolved. We've got loads in common too. She's really into football and is a massive fan of Manchester United. We often hang out and watch games and have a good catch-up. We became friends through a mutual friend. I was planning to learn Japanese before I met Yuki, and she has taught me a few words, but she's fluent in English, so we tend to just communicate in English. One of these days I will get round to learning Japanese, but I need to master English first. Although we are close friends, we don't get much chance to meet up because our lives are just so hectic. When we do get together though, it's like we've never been apart. Next summer, we're hoping to go away for a few days, a kind of mini break. We haven't decided where we're going, but we're both food lovers. So wherever we go, there'll undoubtedly be lots of eating involved. It'll be great to spend some time together, catching up on all the gossip and chilling out as well. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the vocabulary, some of the grammar, some of the discourse markers in here. I might not mention every one because there are quite a lot of them, but everything that's highlighted is something that is going to tick a box on the IELTS examiner's sheet and make him think, yes, I need to put you in this band. So first of all, I can't remember rightly. Many students are so exact and say things like, in 1992 I met this person. Don't be exact. It's not a test of facts. Use phrases such as this: I can't remember rightly. It's an idiomatic expression and it means I don't really know. But I'm guessing. A lot of people say I think, and I mention this a lot in videos. Start using I guess, I'm guessing. Roughly, this is a great word for IELTS Writing Task 1, academic if you're describing a graph, chart or table, and it's also a great word in IELTS Speaking, and it means around, about. Here's another phrase which is meaning I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, and it just sounds much more complex. It makes you sound much more like a native speaker of English. She will have told me, a future perfect tense saying that she will have told me this detail at some point in the past. It slipped my mind. This is a really useful expression for all IELTS speaking topics. Instead of saying, I can't remember, it slipped my mind. Despite the fact that, remember, IELTS examiners are looking for discourse markers, are listening for discourse markers. This one means although, and you don't need to do anything different. There's no grammatical changes, but it just shows the IELTS examiner that you know some complex discourse markers, so try to include that. To hit it off straight away means to make a connection with somebody, to instantly have a good relationship with them, to get on well with them. A wicked sense of humour. Had this in one of the other videos, and we often say a good sense of humour, but this is a bit more informal, bit more complex, and shows that you have a much greater knowledge of English vocabulary, and it means a great sense of humour. Remember to use used to. It's a very easy tense to use, just used to plus the verb, but it shows that you have some grammatical flexibility. To bump into somebody is like to meet them, but it's not planned that you will meet them. You go somewhere, like you go to the supermarket and you bump into your friend. Not literally, but it means that you see them there. It just sort of evolved. This means it developed without any planning. We've got loads in common. This is really useful for describing any kind of person that you know, and it means that you have a lot of similar interests or a lot of similar opinions or views. She's really into. I cannot stress enough that you must learn words and phrases to say like, dislike. To be into something means you like it. And here's another example, is a massive fan of, that this person really likes this thing. We often hang out. This is very informal, but it's fantastic for IELTS speaking, and it means get together, spend time together. To have a good catch-up. This means to get together and talk about what you've been doing. A mutual friend is like a friend of a friend, so you have a friend in common and that's how you met. So this person is your friend's friend. I was planning to learn Japanese. Here's a good use of past continuous, just learning that phrase. I was planning to do something. So you could use it in lots of other topics. I was planning to go to America. I was planning to go to Australia. And IELTS examiners love continuous tenses because not many other languages use them, or they don't use them as much as we do in English. So it's great to get some into your IELTS speaking. I was planning to do. Has taught, present and present perfect, but a tense that a lot of students forget to use. Tend to just communicate. I talk a lot about tend to. I really like it when students use tend to. It kind of means usually, but it's a verb and it's so easy to use. I tend to get up at 7 o'clock. I tend to go to bed at 9 o'clock, and it means I usually do this. This is a lovely little expression, one of these days. It means soon, at some point, but instead of saying soon or in the future, one of these days. I will get round to learning Japanese. It's something that you're planning to do, but you haven't done it yet. So to get round to something. Really quite complex use of language, but very impressive. So if you were talking about a skill, one of these days I will get round to learning to drive, for example. Now here I am a native English speaker, but I'm pretending I'm not, so I'm using this if you were going to say it in your IELTS speaking exam. To master English. To master something means to become an expert in it, to become very good at it. Although, we've already had despite the fact that, so we need an although in there as well. Close friends, this means good friends. You could also say firm friends. To meet up, good phrasal verb, to get together. Hectic, really useful adjective to describe, very busy, frantic, hectic. So our lives are busy. when we do get together though. So you could use though here instead of however. We're hoping to go away. As I said before, IELTS examiners love to hear a continuous tense. So we're hoping to do this. Mini break. Great little phrase to describe a little holiday, usually on a weekend, say from Friday to Sunday, when you just go away for a very short period of time. Food lovers, you can use lovers with lots of things: sport lover, nature lover, animal lover. Undoubtedly, it's good to have lots of these adverbs like this. So undoubtedly, certainly. To catch up on all the gossip means to talk to each other and find out what each other's been doing, and maybe find out what other people have been doing. Chilling out. You need lots of informal, complex verbs and phrases for IELTS speaking, and this is a great one because you can use it in lots of topics. To chill out, it means to relax. Hope you found this video useful. Make sure that you have printed off the model answer, gone through the model answer and made some notes on it. Watch it again and again, but remember, don't memorise it. Try to just learn the keywords and phrases that will be useful for you in the IELTS speaking exam. Thanks for watching.